Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Veronica Brandon Miller.
And I'm Kelly Davis Strasbaugh.
And this is Goodwill, Minnesota's Good News.
Where we get to share with you some of the good that's happening in our community.
And there is a lot of good.
There's always so much good.
There is a lot of good. And I know, I hope your holiday was really well spent. And that you did go shopping at Goodwill, because if you did donate or shop at Goodwill, you did create jobs. So thank you for changing lives.
As always, we like to remind you that Goodwill Minnesota is a local nonprofit 501c3 organization. Sometimes I get the C and the 3 mixed up, but I think I nailed it. And in 2014, we helped 16,000 people, and that's because you shopped and donated. We have stores in Manatee, Sarasota, Hardee, and DeSoto counties. We have a local president and CEO, Bob Rosinski, who we love, and we have a local board of directors that live and work in this area.
Yes.
So we always want to remind you guys of that, just how important it is for you to give back locally, because you're impacting local people. And we employ almost 1,000 people locally. I think I could say locally 10 more times.
Yeah, and more than 60% actually have a barrier to employment. So it could be a disability or whatever.
But lack
we
of
make
employment, lack of transportation.
Whatever it is, we try to make sure that we have a more employable community.
Absolutely.
And we're very grateful that we have 9 job connections around 4 counties, Hardee, DeSoto, Sarasota, and Manatee counties, that anybody can go in and we will help you write a resume, do mock interviewing, and pretty much get you ready for that interview.
Absolutely. I like to say you can either have a GED or a PhD. Our Job Connection Centers are for everybody. And I think the misconception is people are like, well, I don't want to work at Goodwill. That's fine. We'll actually help you find a job anywhere in the community. They are very, very well connected with people, with other businesses in the community that are looking for qualified help. So they will help you with everything.
And I'm glad you said GED, because I want to remind everyone, when we had Michael Bryant from Folly Bryant on the show, that we are helping people if you need your GED, and we will provide a scholarship to help you obtain a GED through the Connie and Rick Folly Scholarship Program. So definitely check us out on experiencegoodwill.org for more information about that. And again, thank you for everything you've done this year.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe 2015 just
Bam!
just went by.
Exactly.
That's my sound effect for a year racing by.
Speaking of that, anyway, let's go to our wonderful guest.
Oh wait,
No, what?
we forgot to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Do you have one?
No, not yet. We'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Okay.
I gotta think of them. Okay, let's go to our guest.
Let's go to our guest. First, Daryl Turner from Turner Tree and Landscaping. Did I get it all right? Because
Yes, ma'am, you did.
And everything. It should say comma and everything else. We love Daryl. And we also have Jennifer Mitchell from the Circus Arts Conservatory. I know, how many people just say Circus Sarasota?
Quite a few, or just the circus.
They're just the circus.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, when we were telling people, I'm like, oh, the circus is coming, so I'm sorry, I'm one of them. But anyway, I love the Circus Arts Conservatory.
And I just want to make a note that we wanted to have you trapezing in. I don't know if that's the verb for trapezing.
Flying in.
Cut to the chase. That's why you're in charge. But we were going to have you flying in, but the like regulations,
no, safety.
Of course.
But just
and
wanted to let you know,
rigging.
it was an option.
Next time I'll try and bring a unicycle.
That'd be great. Just sitting there the entire time on a unicycle. Okay.
Okay, well, let's start with Daryl. Daryl Turner from Turner Tree and Landscaping is also an amazing ambassador, and actually was one of the very first winners of the Goodwill Ambassador of the Year award. So,
Thank you.
and that was 4 years ago.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, tell us about your wonderful company.
Well, we've been in Manatee County for 35 years.
Wow.
And we employ somewhere around 85 people and live in both counties. So county's really been good to us, and so we really believe in giving back to the community, and it's sort of an unwritten policy in our company that that's what we do, and that's what that's our minimum least amount, I guess. That's not a good way to put this, but anyway, that's one of our company unspoken rules, is that you will give back to the community, you will participate.
Out of the companies that I work with, it's all about the leadership and the culture, and you exude exactly what you just said, giving back. You have a family business.
Yes.
everyone's family. You give back. I just love the fact that you focus totally on corporate social responsibility. And I know we have some wonderful pictures. I don't want to take away from what the beautiful work the Turner Tree Landscaping does. Where is this?
That is a job we done downtown Sarasota. It's one of the professional buildings, and it's actually over here by the Royal Palm 20 that we had done.
They were gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh,
And this photograph, hopefully nobody has been there. That's Lakewood Ranch Hospital, and that's a project that we done, and we helped from design to completion. And that was about a 120-day job for us, so it was a very nice job for us.
oh, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the one thing, I used to live across the street, so it is important.
Yes.
Landscaping is extremely important besides the services they provide. And this is gorgeous.
Yeah, this job, this is a really interesting job. Y'all may be familiar with it. It's the FCCI Insurance Building in Lakewood Ranch, and that's built to withstand Category 3 or 4 hurricanes, I believe. So we had to be really selective in the tree material we used so it wouldn't become projectiles in the middle of a storm. So that one had some pretty neat criteria we had to work around to make it safe. God forbid we do have a hurricane someday.
It's so amazing what goes into selecting the plants, because I'd just be like, oh, this one looks pretty, but there's so much thought behind it. I think that's great how you just said that. That's,
Yes, it is.
gosh,
Yeah.
it's an art.
Well, one of the things they really promote, which is sort of like Landscape 101, it's right plant, right place. And whether it's by a power line or by somebody's pool and or by a building like this that's going to be used, we do a lot of the emergency operations centers, Sarasota and Manatee. And those are primarily Washingtonian and sable palms. If you go back and look at most of the reports of the hurricanes of '02 and '05, they've got a list of about 10 or 11 trees that done extremely well. So that seems to be the more preferred list for the emergency operations center. So they sort of come up with, the state has, providing us with things and trees and plants that they show done very well and didn't hurt anybody.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
And there's a term called defensive landscaping.
Yes.
I guess they do on the West Coast. Not that I know much about landscaping.
You
I know
just
how to
totally
water. Did you see
impressed me
that?
right now with
Yeah.
your defensive.
Something like that. But how did you get into landscaping?
Actually grew up in Virginia on a farm and had came to Florida back in the 70s to do some work actually on the interstate, and got into the landscaping just by a trick of the trade, and have really liked it. And our big thing for us was many years like working at Disney, Universal Movie Studio, and doing movie sets and that kind of stuff, was large and specimen trees. So we would collect them all over the state out of people's yards, and then we would get highway patrol escorts, and then at night we would transport them into Disney. If it went inside the park, we had to be in by midnight and we had to be out by 6 a.m. the next morning. So everything was very job specific. If it went inside the park, like we moved a tree from downtown Sarasota on Hyde Park Street that weighed about 68,000 pounds that went in front of the dome at Epcot.
Wow.
So the engineers at Disney had to go in and do testing of the concrete to be sure it would withhold the weight of the truck and the tree based on how many tires and wheels was on it, so it wouldn't cause a cave-in because of all the underground tunnels that run underneath there. So that's just some of the complexities you have to deal with
Wow. You never
and
think
work with their
about
staff.
Good, 68,000 pounds. That is
Yes.
crazy. It's so cool to be able to go to Epcot and be like, I planted that.
Yep.
I helped with that.
Yep, and they thought it was going to freeze back in 2005, I guess it was. They actually put a parachute over it and some force heaters inside.
Wow.
And it did get some damage and ended up moving back to the tree farm, but it's supposed to be better and heading back to the park sometime in the near future.
Well, besides being smart, that's very, you're very caring.
Right.
And again, what the premise of our show is putting a face to a company. And Turner Tree and Landscaping is a very philanthropic-minded company, and it stems from the leadership.
Stems.
And stems.
Good, nice,
No pun intended.
Oh, did you like? Oh, thank you.
nice.
Comedy is my second. Anyway, so you are very caring, and Goodwill, Minnesota is very grateful for everything you do for us, and you always have your thoughts with us. I know recently we had you didn't plant stuff in this specific area, but you knew we had 90 Goodwills coming in, and you drove by and said, no, I'm going to help you clean this up. Little things like that. I mean, very caring, very caring. But it's more than just Goodwill. I know you care deeply about another wonderful organization, Meals on Wheels Plus, which we love. And Mary Beth Phillips has been on the show numerous times. Great lady, and we love partnering with them, and we love collecting food for the food banks because it's very important. But what else?
Well, one thing to add too, we have been working with hiring the veterans, which I know that's one of the things y'all have been doing and promoting, and we got involved with that thanks to y'all, and we've hired 2 or 3 veterans, Navy, Marines, and Air Force, and they've worked out very, very well.
Oh, excellent.
And we're currently also working with your employment division to try to get about 10 employees out of your job connection program to start working with us the first part of the year.
Oh, and you know, I'm glad you hit on that, because I even remember it was in 2013 when we started the Goodwill Veteran Services Program, and we were trying to find specific areas where we could get our the veterans who are coming to our job connections into the services. Right. And I called you, and I said, you know, would you be willing to, and we can try and create, you know, get a grant to pay for them. Without a blink, he turned around and he said, Veronica, you send me a veteran, I'm going to interview him right away. Do not worry about that. And it's that caring and giving that is so important. And then that's why I love this partnership, because it is a true partnership. We care a great deal about you, and we hope everyone that is watching, when you are thinking of you know, doing landscaping or any sort, definitely consider Turner Train Landscaping.
Are you primarily commercial?
We do residential. We're about 20% residential and 80% commercial. But we look at about anything that's in town, and we love making the place look better, whether it's residential or commercial. And like y'all's existing building in Bradenton, every time you'd ride by it, the minor things that nobody else would probably notice really bugs you, Veronica. And I'm like, let me come in and fix those. And so we did. But Goodwill's been very good, and also for all the viewers out there too, my daughters and my wife, we all shop as Goodwill as well.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
Helping create local jobs, and whenever you deal with local companies like Turner Tree, you're helping to employ local veterans and local people, and it's a pretty neat thing to be able to say. You think you're just getting your landscaping done, but you're doing so much more.
Well, we have one that's a dispatcher with us that does a great job. We have another one that's handles our transporting and dispatching, doing a very good job, and the other gentleman is helping in the office doing estimating and scheduling. So we picked up 3 very good people and are looking for more.
And before I forget, recently, and we were talking about the Rick Foley Fund.
Right.
He was very dear to you. Absolutely. And you created something. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, yes and no. It was
yes and no.
Yes and no.
But you know, love Rick and Connie Foley. They were just dear friends of mine for 25 years, I guess, or so, and we done a tremendous amount of stuff with Goodwill and a lot of other companies in town. So when we took down some pine trees that was blocking your sign up on 301 and 51st Avenue.
They used to bug them.
Yep.
So I'm glad you
Yep, we got those took care of, and took all of about 45 minutes to get a permit. And but we got that took care of. But anyway, we wanted to make it look nicer and prettier for the sign. So we put in some crepe myrtles that are about 14 to 16 foot tall, and we want to make that the Rick and Connie Foley Memorial Garden and do a plaque. And that's something I've been working on with y'all and Melissa.
And it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen in
So
2016.
sweet.
Yeah, and the color matches the sign and the building. And we actually, hate to keep jumping in here, but we actually done some work at Rick's house about 10 years ago, and we planted the same color crepe myrtle in his backyard beside his bedroom window. So that's why I thought it was just a really unique tie when me and Melissa was out in the farm tagging trees for that. Like, hey, let's do this. And the more we thought about it, it seemed to get more traction, and waiting for them to bloom into spring.
That's awesome.
That's going to be perfect.
So awesome.
Yes.
I think we're going to tie it all in when, hopefully, when the first group of Rick Foley scholarship recipients graduate.
Absolutely.
That would be, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. But
She always tries to make me cry every show.
that's my goal.
Plus, she's very hard to say no to when she calls.
Yeah.
Very
You
authoritative.
should have seen our last show.
Yep,
Santa was on. I had to be good. But anyway, thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. And another great addition that we have in our community is the Circus Arts Conservatory. So Jennifer, let's talk about the circus.
Sure.
Yes. And how do we become involved?
Well,
Yes.
there's lots of ways to be involved. And of course, just being a local, celebrating our history and the region's history is the first way, by attending performances. In fact, right now we are producing the Sailor Circus Holiday Show. You can join us now through Tuesday to see part of Sarasota's history. 100 students who perform in the circus arts. They're members of area schools, both Sarasota and Manatee County, and they are carrying on a tradition that's been here since 1949.
Wow.
Love that.
The fact that we have that is very unique and very amazing.
Absolutely, and the fact that they're students, this is their choice to be part of the performing arts, and they gain leadership and self-confidence, just like kids who are involved in other performing arts and the athletics. But it's special because it really has that historical value being part of this community.
Oh yeah, and I know recently Dolly,
Yes.
the famous Dolly, received this unbelievable award.
Yeah, Dolly was actually the first circus performer in our nation's history to be awarded an NEA fellowship. So she is a 2015 NEA fellow. And it was a very emotional, definitely emotional celebration in Washington, D.C. as we joined her at the Library of Congress.
It's just crazy. I mean, I love that fact. And I know the last show we showed a picture. I was ringmaster at one of the events, and that was fun.
Talked about it for like 3 months.
Months straight.
Well, and it was one of the ways we were able to collaborate with
Yes.
Goodwill, absolutely, and bringing veterans to the circus and
Which
letting
was-
them have a memorable experience with their family. And that's something that the circus is, it's a magical piece of an experience that a family can have. It really, it breaks the barriers of all generations, and you can celebrate whether you're 2 or 102, because we get those patrons who come and buy their tickets over 100, and I respect them deeply. But you're able to share in the beauty of the human artistry that we present.
And it is. It's so amazing. It's not like the circus when I grew up, where, like, I remember smells and noises. And I feel like I'm at a Circus Soleil.
Yeah.
And this is local. So, I mean, the fact that we have this, and right there it says on sale now, definitely, because if you're looking what to do with your family or, out of town guests that are coming in, don't go all the way up to Disney. Why would you do that? No.
Unless you wanted to see one of the trees that Turner Tree Landscape.
Oh yeah, then it's okay. But, I know we don't want to. But anyway, back to the circus. It is. I was blown away, and in fact, that's what I gave my. You're speaking of the older folks. My father and his wife. That's what I got them tickets for because they loved it.
It's a perfect gift, and so many people do that. And Dolly and Pedro are founders, and Pedro's our artistic director. They've traveled the world, both as performers and also as artistic creators. And so they know the best of the best that's out there, and they're bringing it here to Sarasota. That
do
picture
that?
there is students in the Sailor Circus.
Really?
That is part of the upcoming.
Students.
That is. And that's a new piece of equipment that was built custom for the kids to work together in a production. That's part of
Wow.
team building. So, of course, they're learning tricks and hanging on aerial apparatuses like that particular star.
Wow.
And there you have some of our jugglers in the Sailor Circus arena. The student actually there, one of those students was recruited last year by Cornell University, and so
Really?
he's an alumni of the Sailor Circus.
That's
But they're kids that
awesome.
go on to professional careers in entertainment or the circus, but they also go on to become lawyers and doctors and all those important people that we see. In fact, they also go out into the military. We have active military
That's
alumni as
fantastic.
well.
Wow. I'm looking at. Amazing. Look at this.
It is definitely one of
And it's strength
Sarasota's
building.
richest traditions.
It is.
For sure. It started because John Ringling came to town, and there were so many families that joined at that time John Ringling in the winter quarters. And so these students were in school, and like we see the football players and the baseball players, we had a lot of gymnasts and acrobats who were part of the program. And so Sailor Circus has continued. It doesn't happen to be so many circus families anymore, but that's the beauty of the legacy continuing. continuing. It's part of a folk art and part of Americana.
How many youth are in the program?
There are 120 students that are in this year's Sailor Circus, and there are 100 on the waiting list.
Wow.
Yes, so we can't keep up with the growth, and that's really exciting.
How do you get your funding?
Funding different ways, mostly through, obviously, Department Cultural Affairs and funding that way. We always are looking for grants and individual philanthropy. This community is so rich in people who want to support our youth, so they underwrite a lot of the program.
How can they get involved?
There's so many ways to get involved in the circus, as a volunteer because we put on so many events, as a patron attending these wonderful performances, and we also have classes open to the public. So if it's on your bucket list to be on the flying trapeze, you can come and join us on the weekend.
Shut up.
We are going. We're there.
Aerial fabrics, aerial silks, juggling, walking the wire, all of those things.
I was just about to do it.
We're going to do the same thing.
All right.
Well, I can't juggle.
I'm going to pass them to Veronica.
No, I'm good. You thought the same thing.
I've been waiting.
You ladies juggle a lot.
I've
So,
been waiting to pick these up.
yeah.
Now I can't eat it. Anyway, so, that is, and that's what I love. So you're looking for volunteers.
Absolutely.
Individual donors, foundations. If you're thinking, hey, what is my New Year's resolution? If you personally don't want to be involved in our class that we're going to be joining, think about giving back. And giving back, is it scholarships for the
Well,
youth?
and you know, the conservatory has taken circus beyond the arena and beyond the big top. So we're in schools, we're educating using circus as the medium, teaching physics, Newton's laws of gravity, and we're doing math and language arts as well, using circus as a medium. And we're also in nursing homes, such an important part of our region.
That is
we're bringing
awesome.
clowns and teaching musicians into the nursing homes and engaging, stimulating memories, singing, clowning, and having a good time so that there's joy brought to those who really are in need and can't come to visit us at the big top. So those are lots of ways that we've taken the circus and use it beyond entertainment. We're definitely much more than a circus.
So to find out more information, what's your website?
Visit us at circusarts.org.
That's easy enough.
Circusarts.org.
So to look for volunteer opportunities, I hope everyone who's watching is going to consider, classes or donating your time, resources,
Absolutely.
whatever you can, because it is such an amazing part of the community.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
I'm blown away. I think that's so cool about the nursing homes. I bet that is such a rewarding experience because they're amazing people that just can't get out and about. And
Absolutely.
I'd love
So
to
bring
go
it straight to them.
And the ripple effect is amazing because, a lot of times it gives relief to the staff. It offers, ways that the family can connect again through memory stimulation. So it's more than just going in and visiting, and it's relationship building.
It is. And I see it in the paper. There's always like a clown somewhere. And it just changes the entire mood.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Now
Love what
I'm
you're doing.
ready to go hang some stuff from the ceiling and try to hang off of it.
Anyway, so I'm going to say no. And tickets are on sale right now.
They are. Tickets are on sale now. We have performances of the Sailor Circus, and then we will open Circus Sarasota on Friday, February 12th. It features a hometown resident superstar, Bello Knock. He'll be coming to us direct from Europe. He travels around the world, and we're very lucky to have him as part of the big show this year, and he's always an attraction. But there are several other acts from Europe who are making an American debut, so you don't want to miss that. And we also collaborate with Key Chorale, and in March we will celebrate really one of the most eclectic collaborations in town, and that's 100 voices of the Key Chorale, 30 members of the orchestra, and live circus performances.
When is this?
Awesome.
This is in March. It's March 23rd and 24th, and tickets are on sale for that now.
Circusarts.org. Oh, definitely.
I know what we're doing in March
Yep.
and in February.
Oh, yes.
We're going
And
to
See
circus.
us under the big top.
Oh, we plan on it.
Oh, yes.
I might even be under the big top, like in the ring. Ringmaster extraordinaire over here. I know people.
I did it once. Anyway, so we're talking about awesome things, and the circus, as I bang the table, the circus and Turner Tree and Landscaping, two amazing components of this community.
Absolutely.
So we're so grateful that you came on the show.
Thank
Yes,
you.
and one thing you have in common. Oh, sorry. We love you guys. One thing you have in common is I know you're both big proponents of training. in education, and also youth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that I was hoping to segue into our next.
And you did. You segued perfectly.
Trying to segue into our next thing. Do you want to start out by talking about it? Because I know it's a cause
Yes.
near and dear to your heart.
Yes. We are launching this year, 2016, a new program called the Good Futures Program. And what we realized is our Goodwill ambassadors, which we mention every week, our wonderful volunteers are now, a good chunk of them are being trained to work with the Children's Guardian Fund. And we are going to provide mentorships for those youth who are transitioning out of foster care. Yep. And we were able to have a concert last week. Actually, Kelly and I sang in it and raised money to launch it. And it's going to be great because one of the issues with the youth that are transitioning out of foster care, if you're in the foster care program, you actually get a full college scholarship to a state school. Less than 1% actually take advantage of that, and it's because they don't feel they have the support. And with our partnership and using our Goodwill ambassadors, they will actually help sit down with them, help them fill out the college application, if they want to go into a technical school, whatever it may be, or if they just want to go right into the workforce, actually have that support system. They might need that extra pair of eyes on a lease in an apartment, whatever it is. I know I'm making you cry, but we are so excited to be partnering with the Children's Guardian Fund and providing the Good Futures, because that's important. And if you want good news, and this is our New Year's resolution for me,
I can't do it anymore. She makes
is
it
to
cry.
make sure that we are actually helping to provide good futures for these youth.
Absolutely.
And right now there's about 1,200 in the 12th Circuit District. Am I saying it right? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, and there's about 120 that are transitioning out of foster care. And instead of just, they have a great program, but now with our mentorship, they can actually help them go through even beyond, 18, 20, 26. We're hoping to create this wonderful partnership.
I'm sorry, I just think about everything that I did a lot of college stuff on my own, so I was a first generation college student, but my parents were there to support me, and, this is a really cool program. I'm very happy.
And if you want to know more about it, definitely go on experiencegoodwill.org, and if you're interested in making a donation or becoming a Goodwill ambassador in the Good Futures program and help become a guardian. But anyway, thank you for being with us this past year, and thank you, Jennifer, and thank you for Daryl for being on, and we hope to see you next week.